The hip-hop world thrives on drama, but what just went down between Papoose and Claressa Shields has fans in total shock. What started as whispers on social media quickly escalated into one of the messiest feuds of the year. According to Papoose himself, Claressa, the boxing champion known for breaking records in the ring, allegedly tried to break his career outside of it. Fans are calling this crossover clash between hip-hop royalty and boxing's brightest star unreal, like something straight out of a Netflix series. Papoose has always been respected for his loyalty and low-key presence in the industry, especially as Remy Ma's partner. But now, he's putting it all on the line, exposing private details and claiming Claressa's moves weren't just personal, they were calculated attacks meant to dismantle his entire brand. The internet is buzzing, receipts are flying, and everybody wants to know, how did it come to this? When you think of hip-hop loyalty, one name always comes to mind, Papoose. For years, he's stood as a symbol of consistency, integrity, and commitment, especially to his wife, Remy Ma. From holding her down during her prison sentence, to keeping his career afloat despite being overshadowed by industry giants, Papoose carved his lane as a respected veteran. He's never been about clout chasing or messy headlines. Until now. Because this time, the story isn't about rap beef, contracts, or label disputes, it's about Claressa Shields. Known as the GWOAT greatest woman of all time in boxing, Shields has shattered barriers in the ring, Olympic gold medals, multiple weight class titles, and an undefeated record. She's a champion whose presence commands respect worldwide. But outside the ropes, that's where the controversy begins. Rumors first surfaced when fans noticed friction between Papoose and Claressa in interviews and subtle posts online. At first, it seemed harmless, maybe just two public figures brushing shoulders in overlapping circles. But soon, whispers became headlines. Papoose was accusing Claressa Shields of sabotaging his career. And not just minor shots, he claimed. She actively worked to destroy his reputation, undermine his credibility, and damage his business ventures. So what exactly happened? According to insiders close to Papoose, the tension began during a private business deal. Papoose had reportedly been working with promoters to launch a joint event blending music and sports, something fresh that would bring together hip-hop culture and boxing. The concept was genius. Concerts mixed with fight cards, giving fans the energy of a rap show with the excitement of the ring. Claressa, being the face of women's boxing, was allegedly pitched as a headliner, but behind the scenes, things soured. Papoose claims Claressa made demands that not only undermined the deal but also threatened his professional reputation. Sources say she questioned his credibility, told promoters he wasn't trustworthy, and even suggested that aligning with him could ruin their money. For someone like Papoose, who's built his entire brand on respect and integrity, those words cut deep. The situation escalated when these allegations spilled onto social media. Fans began dissecting cryptic tweets, deleted posts, and even shady comments that seemed to hint at the rift. Screenshots started circulating. One alleged message suggested Claressa was trying to expose Papoose as someone who uses his wife's name for clout. Another hinted she questioned his place in hip-hop altogether. For years, Papoose avoided drama, staying clear of messy internet wars. But this time, he snapped. In a shocking live session, he called out Claressa directly. His voice was calm, but his words carried weight. He said, "I ain't never been about tearing down nobody. But when you step into my lane, and you try to take food off my table, that's when it's a problem. Claressa, you know what you did. And I'm not gonna let you rewrite the story." The internet immediately exploded. Fans of Claressa Shields, loyal to the champ, argued that Papoose was clout chasing. After all, Claressa is a global name, while Papoose, though respected, doesn't hold the same mainstream pull. They accused him of exaggerating the situation to grab headlines, but supporters of Papoose pointed to his history. A man who's never needed gimmicks, who stood firm in loyalty for decades, wouldn't suddenly start lying. To them, if Papoose said Claressa tried to destroy his career, then there must be truth behind the claim. Hip-hop and boxing media outlets jumped on the story. Podcasts, reaction channels, and gossip sites dissected every word. Analysts debated whether this was just a misunderstanding, or if a deeper, more personal betrayal was at play. Some even speculated that tension between Claressa and Remy Ma might have fueled the fire, suggesting underlying jealousy or power struggles between the two women. Meanwhile, Claressa herself didn't stay silent. In an interview, she brushed off the claims, laughing as she called Papoose irrelevant. She suggested that people were using her name for clout, and doubled down on her belief that Papoose had nothing to offer her career. Her confidence, even arrogance, only fueled the flames. Because if there's one thing fans know, it's that when you dismiss Papoose, you dismiss a man who's been through fire and never broken. At this point, the feud became more than personal, it turned cultural. Hip-hop forums debated loyalty, respect, and the blurred lines between music and sports. Boxing fans defended their champ, while hip-hop heads demanded Claressa put some respect on Papoose's name. The crossover of fan bases created a wildfire, and everyone wanted to see where this saga would end. But the biggest question remains: why would Claressa Shields, a champion with global recognition, go out of her way to attack Papoose? Some insiders suggest jealousy. Others point to business politics. A few even whisper that personal drama between Remy Ma and Claressa may have spilled into Papoose's world. Whatever the reason, the damage is done. The once untouchable loyalty brand of Papoose has now been forced into the messy spotlight, and the hip-hop community is divided. One thing's for sure: Papoose has nothing to lose by speaking out. Claressa Shields, on the other hand, risks her legacy outside the ring if fans begin to see her as someone who steps on others to climb higher. And as the story unfolds, one chilling truth hangs in the air: this isn't just a clash of personalities, it's a battle between hip-hop integrity and athletic dominance. And the world is watching to see who falls first. To understand the intensity of this fallout, we need to go back. Papoose's reputation wasn't built overnight. He was the MC who turned down a $1 million record deal because he believed in independence. He was the husband who married Remy Ma inside a prison, proving loyalty when the cameras weren't rolling. Every step of his career has been defined by standing tall when others would bend. So when he accused Claressa of trying to destroy his career, fans immediately knew this wasn't some casual beef. It meant something deep. Behind the scenes, insiders claim that Claressa's dismissive behavior went further than what the public saw. She allegedly blocked Papoose from securing sponsors for his joint boxing and music venture. According to one promoter, Claressa told business partners that Papoose was bad for business and too small-time to be taken seriously. Those words allegedly cost him deals worth thousands, maybe millions. For Papoose, it wasn't about money, it was about respect. In his own words, "I don't need nobody's handouts, but don't stand in the way of something I'm building." That's crossing the line. What made matters worse was how quickly fans began taking sides. Social media became a battlefield. On one side were Papoose's loyal hip-hop supporters who praised him for standing on principle. They flooded timelines with old clips of him dropping legendary freestyles, reminding the world that he's one of the most skilled lyricists alive. They pushed hashtags like #RespectPapoose and #HipHopLoyalty to defend his name. On the other side, Claressa's boxing army rallied behind her. They highlighted her undefeated record, her trailblazing career as the face of women's boxing, and argued that someone of her stature had no reason to target Papoose. To them, he was exaggerating, a business disagreement to stay relevant. Hashtags like #TeamShields and #GWO started trending. The clash spilled over into mainstream media, sports shows, hip-hop radio stations, even late-night talk hosts picked up the story. Analysts debated whether this was a real feud or simply another example of the entertainment industry blurring lines to generate headlines. But when receipts started surfacing, the drama turned serious. Leaked audio allegedly caught Claressa venting about Papoose, calling him a washed-up rapper riding his wife's coattail. Fans dissected every word, questioning whether she truly respected the hip-hop community or saw herself as above it. That leak alone sparked a firestorm, memes, reaction videos, and heated debates exploded online. Papoose, instead of retaliating with insults, doubled down with dignity. He released a statement saying, "I ain't never needed to disrespect a woman to get respect. But when someone disrespects me, my family, and my work, the truth has to be told." That line struck a chord. Unlike other hip-hop feuds filled with threats and cheap shots, Papoose's words carried a sense of principle. He wasn't just fighting for himself, he was defending his integrity, his family's name, and his role in hip-hop culture. Meanwhile, Claressa's camp fired back. She claimed the leaks were taken out of context. In interviews, she painted herself as the victim of a smear campaign, insisting that Papoose and Remy were trying to drag her into unnecessary drama for clout. She dismissed the feud as beneath her, focusing instead on training for her next fight. But the damage was already done. The internet thrives on conflict, and every headline, every soundbite added fuel to the fire. Fans began creating fantasy scenarios. What if Papoose dropped a diss track aimed at Claressa? What if Claressa used her platform to respond in a press conference? The lines between rap battle and boxing match blurred, with memes showing Papoose in gloves and Claressa in a recording booth. Culturally, the feud raised bigger questions. Could athletes and hip-hop stars truly collaborate without ego clashes? Did Claressa underestimate how much weight Papoose's name carried in the streets? And was Papoose right to expose her publicly? Or should he have handled it behind closed doors? The real twist came when Remy Ma entered the conversation. Though she hadn't said much initially, fans noticed subtle jabs in her social media posts. One cryptic message read, "Respect is something money can't buy. Remember that." Fans immediately connected the dots, interpreting it as a shot at Claressa. If Remy officially stepped into the feud, it would turn from a two-person conflict into a full-blown cultural war. At the heart of this saga is a bigger truth. Both Papoose and Claressa represent more than themselves. Papoose stands as a pillar of hip-hop loyalty and authenticity. Claressa stands as a symbol of dominance and trailblazing in women's sports. Their collision isn't just personal, it's generational, cultural, and symbolic. As of now, the feud shows no signs of slowing down. Claressa continues to dismiss Papoose as irrelevant, while Papoose refuses to back down from his claims. Fans are split, the media is feasting, and the streets are buzzing. The world is waiting to see if this clash escalates into music, boxing, or both. But one thing's clear. When Papoose said Claressa tried to destroy his career, he wasn't just making noise. He was sounding an alarm. And whether you believe him or not, you can't ignore the cultural earthquake this feud has created. Because, sometimes, in hip-hop and in boxing, the fight outside the ring is the one that defines legacies. This story is bigger than just a feud, it's about respect, legacy, and survival in two of the toughest industries on earth, hip-hop and boxing. Papoose stood his ground, exposing what he believes was an attempt to erase everything he built. Claressa Shields, on the other hand, refuses to back down, standing firm as the GWOAT of boxing with a reputation to protect. And now, the world is watching. But here's the truth. This drama is far from over. Will Papoose turn this energy into a diss track that shakes hip-hop? Will Claressa clap back with the same fire she shows in the ring? Or will Remy Ma step in and turn this into a battle no one saw coming? The only way to find out is to stay locked in. Hit that subscribe button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and join the conversation. This fight has just begun.